Today on the Philly Talk podcast, we discuss Miles Sanders' heartfelt message that he posted on his IG. We talk about Isaac Seumalo, future with the Philadelphia Eagles. And last but not least, Jim Leonard, a hot commodity for DC, is taking a year off.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's our life. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk podcast. And today we got a lot to get into. But before we do that, Eagle Nation, help your boy out and hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new, and ding the bell so you can join notification family. Plus, there's a link in the description and a link at the top of the comment section, the pinned comment, for you to sign up for the Jan app, where we be going live every Sunday at 7 p.m. We'll do call-ins, games, trivias, a bunch of stuff going in there, and it's going to be on YouTube as well. But then in a couple weeks, it's going to be solely on the Jan app. Do me a favor, because I get a notification anybody who downloads it with that app, but it doesn't credit me for bringing you to Jan unless you use the promo code. And it's been messing up. So if you already download and follow my page on Jan, but never put the promo code in, can you go to the link, click it again, and this time it will ask you for a promo code. If you're new and signing up for the first time and it don't ask you for a promo code, just go back out, click the link again. Hope to see y'all there. The promo code will be in the description and at the pinned comment too. I think it's P5D6KKO. Check to make sure. Let's get into it. So I had to tweet this because honestly, I do love Miles Sanders, but I understand it's a business. I understand this offseason is going to be tough. There's going to be some people we want back, but we can't get back. But we got to get the people who are the utmost importance for us getting back to the Super Bowl. And you could say a Pro Bowl back ain't. We'll talk about it. But this is what I said. Dang, bro, this is tough. He shared this on his IG today. And look, it pretty much says, I love Philly. Just bring me back. I hope they bring me back. When asked if he had a message to Howie Roseman and the organization, he said, I love you. I hope you love me too. Sheesh. It's a business. But I always thought there was so much potential in Miles Sanders. I always thought that. And he kind of showed it this year. Granted, our offensive line is great. Granted, Jalen Hurts is such a distraction to the linebackers, to the defensive end. It opens up the hole for whoever's carrying the ball. And we saw a lot of good things from Gainwell when he got the rock. We saw some things from Boston Scott. You still got Trey Sermon. I know a lot of people like B. Robinson. And there's another running back that could possibly easily get drafted in the second round. We're going to be breaking down a lot of draft prospects, going over film, doing all that like we always did for the last 2.5 years. But right now, we're sticking to, some of the guys who we think is going to come back or be let go. Again, free agencies first. Talk about our guys. Talk about guys we can go target. Maybe a veteran receiver instead of Quez Watkins. Maybe we go and replace James Bradbury if he don't come back with another veteran corner. Then as we get done with that, the middle of March, we really break down a lot of prospects and do a lot of mock drafts. That season's coming. But here's my take. I think when you look at the defensive players we need to get back on contract, whether it's C.J. Garner-Johnson, T.J. Edwards, Javon Hargrave, they're big money guys. We don't know exactly what the contract's going to be for Jalen Hurts. We don't know if Jalen Hurts is willing to wait one more year, which I doubt. Howie Roseman spoke like he was going to get the job done. He looked confident in saying it in the post-Super Bowl press conference. That's going to get done. Miles Sanders is a guy who I don't see him taking the cheap contract that would keep him in Philly. I'm talking it would have to be cheap. The way I think we're going to make sure we get CJ for the long term. Probably end up trying to franchise tag Hargrave. I know they said that If we can't get a deal done with CJ Garner Johnson, we'll franchise tag him. But I'm hoping we get the long-term deal done with CJ Garner Johnson, use the franchise tag on Hassan Hargrave, and then go about your business trying to figure out TJ, trying to figure out if Kelsey's coming back, blah, 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 blah. I don't think James Bradbury is going to come back. I honestly don't think Miles Sanders, who I loved when he was drafted, I compared him to Shady, second round pick, both him and Shady, 53 overall, both him and Shady, both 5'10, both 212. And we saw the potential this year. But knowing that the O line can block for another running back, knowing that there's running backs in this draft that are going to be dirt cheap, knowing we got guys on our roster who is cheap and can do similar things to Miles Sanders, when you are in a pinch and you feel like you can get back to the Super Bowl, he might be the odd man out. Now, if he is, hopefully he gets paid somewhere else. Miles Sanders deserves $8+ million. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He deserves between 8 to 12 million. We can't give it to him. Now, again, let me repeat what he said. I love Philly. Just bring me back. I hope they bring me back. When asked if he had a message to Howie Roseman and the organization, he said, I love y'all. I hope y'all love me too. If the love is deep enough to take a 2-year deal instead of a 3, 4, if it's cheap enough, if it's good enough to take a 5, $6 million contract, then we could talk. And I don't want to cheapskate you. It's just the way the salary cap is, the way the roster's constructed, and the window is still right there with draft capital and this, that, and the third, and just the market value for running back. There's a lot of free agent running backs. Cook, Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard, Kareem Hunt, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders. Not saying we can get a guy who's better than Miles for cheaper than Miles, but I think there's so many other ways to go, and it pains me because I've been a big Miles Sanders supporter. I know he kind of flamed out in the Super Bowl, but I still think there's so much upside there. He really might not come back, and I don't believe the Eagles will be able to get a deal done for both sides. I just think it is what it is. I'll go over my final free agent walks and free agent signs before, you know, there's big talk about it in the middle of March. Before the big talk comes, I will go over Philly Mike's final. We got to keep, got to let go. This is who I think it's going to be soon enough. Speaking of letting someone go, I said this on Twitter earlier today. I don't think the Eagles will be able to retain Isaac Seumalo, who's played pretty good this season. He's high on a lot of teams' list as a top offensive line free agent, and rightfully so. He's played good. Now, was it because he's playing along two Hall of Famers? To his right is Lane Johnson, to his left is Jason Kelsey. But two teams have them as their top guy. I forgot the other team, but I know one team, and it's because my brother's already texting me about it. The Jets, the New York Jets, have them as their highest graded offensive line in free agency. I believe the other team, I forgot. But both these teams that have him graded as their top O-line / center, because he could play center too, have a lot of money to spend. And I think Isaac Seumalo, who's been getting restructured, who's been not making the most money, I think he's a candidate for moving to get paid one nice contract. That being said, if we could bring Jason Kelsey back, that's cool because you can slide Cam Jurgens in at right guard. Plus, I have the absolute utmost faith in Jeff Stoutland either getting Driscoll up to par or we drafting the guard, whether it's early-ish, second, third round that, Jeff Stoutland really feels high about, and or us getting that fourth or fifth round guy that Jeff Stoutland feels he can mold. Again, Jurgens slides the right guard if Kelsey's back on a legit cheap deal too, because Kelsey was getting paid $14 million, 1-year deal. But when you look at on a year per year salary, he was the highest paid center, not total contract, but on a for a 1-year sample size. That being said, if he want to run it back because he feels good, the podcast is good, and he thinks the Eagles can get the Super Bowl, he's going to have to do the Eagles a solid after we've been doing so many solids for him on this 1 year deal. But who knows? If that's not the case, and Cam Jurgens is center, and again, it's Driscoll, it's a draftee at guard, and again, with right tackle Lane Johnson still playing at all pro level, I think you will be able to get away with it. So we'll see where that goes. But Isaac Seumalo is one of my other candidates to leave. I don't think we get Miles back. I don't think we get Isaac Seumalo back. The way Miles talking, I think he will take a deal before Seumalo does. That's just my opinion. But as more information comes out, again, I'm going to give you my. These are the guys. Not only do I want to leave and want to keep, but thinking through Howie, the organization, going over spot track ourself, who I think is going to leave and who is going to stay, just via the numbers and what they're worth. I'm not going to just make it, who does Philly Mike like? We're going to pull up. It's going to be live. We'll do a live stream. We'll have spot track right here and we'll go through the numbers and who we can get and who we can't, unless they just absolutely love the Eagles. Last but not least, I said sheesh on this one from Jeremy Fowler because I actually had Jim Leonard as my top candidate for DC. The Eagles and Jim Leonard mutually decided they would not move forward with his DC candidacy, per league source. Leonard had planned to undergo hip surgery and sit out coaching for a year. But when the Eagles' job opened, both sides had interest in discussing the position, which they did last week. Ultimately, they decided it wasn't the right time. Down goes one of the candidates. So shout out to my guy Kendall Beck, who we had on the channel. Good follow on Twitter. He said, complete gunshot. I wish Jeremy never even reported both sides had mutual interest. We are now down to the final four. Leonard Wilson, our DB coach. Vance Joseph, ex-coordinator, DC for the Cardinals. Jesse Minter, which is DC for Michigan College. And then Sean Desi, assistant coach slash defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. So these look like the final four. I know we talked about Seth Joyner yesterday. I just don't think that's going to happen at DC. Wouldn't mind it for the linebacker position, coach. But it's neither here or there. Jim Leonard is off the mark. Once again, though, help your boy out by clicking that link. This is what the page will look like on Jan app. And again, when you click the link, if you already signed up, like Philly Mike, I signed up. One of the guys who just did it is Fast Life. Fast Life. FASTLYFE. If you're watching, you signed up, you checked my page out, but you didn't join with the promo code. So there's the promo code. And again, all you got to do is sign up if you're doing it right now or you already signed up. Sign up, no promo code. Go back in via the link you click to sign up. And this time it will just pop up because you already signed up with the promo code. Listen, we trying to get over 100 people already signed up before we do our first Sunday stream, which is in a couple days. It's Wednesday. We got a couple more days. Sunday at 7 o'clock. I think we up to about 65 people. So we got 65 people who are signed up with the promo code. Probably got over 100. Just their thing is messing up. They're trying to get the bugs out. Jan is a new app. But help your boy out. Click the link. It's free. It's just like supporting me on YouTube. You hit the like button. You listen to me on YouTube. Listen to me on the Jan app. Hit that like button for your boy, too. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. You're like, dang, Philly Mike asking for way too much right now. But let me know your thoughts. Jim Leonard mutually deciding not to continue the candidacy with the Eagles, both parties. Miles Sanders, heartfelt message. Give me the number you think we could keep Miles Sanders at. Give me the number in the comments section you think we could keep Miles Sanders with. Let me know if you want to keep him. Let me know if you don't. And it's not even about what me and you want. It's what do we think Howie and the Eagles are going to do at this point. And lastly, let me know your thoughts on Isaac Seumalo. Until next time, you know what time it is. Muscle emoji up. Eagles off season about to be lit. I believe we have what it takes to shape up, tool up, and be back as one of the best teams in the league and the number one team in the NFC right next year because we got guys like Jalen Hurts. We out.